Welcome, everyone, to our Take Action training. If you have been following us sequentially, today is actually part 5 of our lead magnet, freemium, opt-in, whatever you want to call it, training, ethical bribe. There's so many names. And today is part 2 of last week. That's so weird. It's part 5, but it's 2 of last week because it's how to deliver. So I am Julie, and this is
Jess.
And together we have been coined by the famous Savita J squared. And we love it.
Yes.
So, and we have Debbie here, support. Oh, Jen just made it in. So we've been saying hi. We waited to hit record for a little bit. It's a holiday weekend if you're not catching this on replay. So everyone's trying to make it in and get back to work. So we have a lot of people on today. So hopefully, if we didn't say hi earlier before we hit record, we've said hi to a bunch of people. So, but hi, Riley, Pat, Savita, Monica, Mary Alice, Kim, Jate, Jen. I said Jen twice, I think. Hope, Hilda. Oh, there's a long list. Deanne, Kathy. All right. So Shannon, Summer. All right. So if you get on late, sorry. We said hello. All right. So today, again, we try to keep these. We really wanted to keep these in like 30-minute trainings just because of it's so, you want to the whole point is to take action, to learn something and take action this week. So, all right. So I'm going to just jump in. All right. So.
Yep, again, I'm watching the chat. So,
yeah,
and this is take action. So, if you have questions and they're not like right what Julie's talking about that second, we will do our best to get them at the end. I'm keeping track of that, and Debbie is helping fill those as well.
Yes, and I am accidentally closed the thing. I'm going to share today's resource. Today's resource is. Does have a little bit in it, but the most of it is going to be video. So that means you have to follow along. And
that's because you really want to see this. Sorry, Julie, but this is going to serve you so much more than if we were just like, and first do this, and then do that, and then do this, because this is such a see it and it's going to click for you how to do it, compared to some other things that do a little better in the checklist format. So go ahead, Julie. Sorry.
Exactly. I was just going to say that, and if you're like Savita and myself, you can hit the 2X as you're watching this. We sound a little bit like chipmunks, but you can still get it in. So, all right. So again, this is delivery part 2. The things we're covering today are your thank you page and how to embed. So last week we talked about, or we showed you MailChimp and how to actually set up the form. We're going to show you, and that was on a landing page in MailChimp. So you also, so that was really part 1 for the people that didn't necessarily have a website. If you have a website, part 2 today is embed the form and a thank you page. And I'm going to do these in reverse order. I'm going to do the thank you page first, and then we'll go back and show how to embed. So, all right. So, and you're all squared away on why you need a freemium. Email marketing is still the king of ROI when it comes to sales. So it's the way to ethically bribe your people into getting onto your email list. So I'm going to just jump into a thank you page and why you need one. Obviously, you've done the hard work to get people to respond to an opt-in that you had that we built last week. So on the thank you page, obviously you want to thank them for skin in the game, for, downloading it, whatever. We talked about last week, the opt-in page, not clouding it up with a lot of things that can distract people from taking action on actually putting in their email address and, hitting submit so that they get the download. I talk about this all the time. the Microwave Society, people get lost. There's so many distractions that if you don't give them a clear thing to do and them do it, they will get lost in between. So last week we showed you how to actually embed just a thank you that pops up on the screen. So that was part of last week, but this is a second step for a thank you page. All right. So, and there's lots of reasons why you'll want to do this. This is take action. So I'm going to say a couple of things that we won't be putting into action today, but the reason is that you might want to have a separate thank you page is to track a conversion. So if you use Facebook ads or any kind of stats conversion, it will show you how well it's converting. All right. So that is a topic for another day. I just want to explain why you might want a separate thank you page. All right. And again, in this, we're going to use MailChimp's form builder to do this. And it is not fancy the way I'm going to show you. So again, this little part of it's for people that don't necessarily have a website. All right. Elements of a great thank you page. And there is a nice typo.
That's okay. Mine always have lots of issues too.
So Debbie is our resident spell check queen, or proofreading queen. That's a better way. So anyway, she didn't get to see this first. So this was a knock it out quick thing because it's a take action. All right. So quick elements of a thank you page. We want to thank them. Obviously, we want to show them we appreciate them. It can just be a headline that says thank you for taking action. Reiterate what it is that they took action on. So whatever the freebie was that you gave, restate it on this page. Things happen when you have, we're assuming you only have one, but we do have a lot of people that have multiples. And when you have multiples, that means you have to have a separate thank you page. And obviously, if you're going to put the button on the page, you have to have a different one. So sometimes you get messed up and you won't give them to the right page. So be sure that it says what it is. That way they can report back if it's not what they signed up for. All right. Be sure to deliver the promised content. All right. We talk a lot about Microwave Society, blah, blah, blah here as far as people getting distracted. A lot of times there's multiple ways to deliver your freebie. So last week we did it where it was just popped right up on the screen and they could click it to get it right then. This same thing. You want to have it on this page for a couple of reasons. Number one, they get lost between now and the 10 minutes that they have to remember to go and check their email. Jessica has a hard time with this because she says if that's the case, they probably aren't our people. But they are our people because they're entrepreneurs and we have so many things going on and get distracted and sign up. You see Facebook ads and everything. So have it on this page. Go ahead.
I was about to say, do I get to defend myself?
No.
Okay, but so it's a really great thing, and having been around for 6-7 years now, I would say go ahead and put the promised content on a download button. But my argument is if they're not even willing to go find and open a freebie that we sent to them, there is no way they're going to be willing to open all the emails that they have to get and open and read and digest in order to be successful with your social plan, which is the part that Julie left out when she said those aren't our people. That's my reasoning for thinking those aren't our people. But I can totally agree that those people will never warm up to us. They'll never go from a cold lead that we paid for, by the way, hello, Facebook ad, to a warm lead if they think we didn't even deliver the content because they didn't bother getting in their spam folder. Yes, technically the responsibility's on them, but if we already know that they're not going to go digging through their spam folder, then some of the responsibility can be mitigated by us. And that is where over the last year of us kind of arguing back and forth about it, I will agree that putting a download button for your freebie is you can do it.
I want to say the reason why you would not put it on there, or the argument as to why, is because you would prefer them to get it from your email, because they have to open and read the email, which helps in your email deliverability in the future to them. Okay, so at this point, after all of the testing we've done, we put the download on the thank you page and deliver in the email. And we deliver in our membership area as well as a freebie. So just to make sure they get it. And Deanna's right. She says, unless the freebie is so badass that they can't not open your emails. Correct. So again, the thought is if they can immediately take action, open it up and say, oh, wow, yes, this is on my list, because there are habitual freebie downloaders out there that sign up for 100 different things a month and get lost in a sea of email gunk and just won't open them. And again, email deliverability, if you have Gmail, which so many people do, most of the time they go into promos. There's nothing you can do to really keep them from going into promos. And people, if they use the Gmail inbox, a lot of people don't even know to check it. So.
So that's what I was going to say, is kind of like a argument to what Deanne said. And Deanne, you are speaking just like I was when Julie and I kind of started the year-long argument about why they have to go get that email. Because if they don't even bother opening the email, then they won't bother getting the paid stuff. But it is true, because so many people have Gmail nowadays, they will not even know that they got an email. And that comes back on you. It comes back on the business, even though it's technically a them problem. So just keep that in mind, because we've had people we've had email open rates for that first freebie delivery lower than 10% for a 7-day targeted fitness marketing program with done for you content. Lower than 10%, because people didn't think they were getting our emails. They actually thought we were kind of a scam, and we were like not just collecting emails and not delivering things. And they didn't realize that we were going straight to their spam folder. So just keep that in mind, that the badassity of your freebie is not always indicative of how well your emails get opened. And that's why I've had to kind of tuck my tail and be like, Julie's right. Which I hate to do. No, I'm just kidding.
We all hate being wrong every now and again. But it's ever changing. So, and that's a big, big deal as to why we do these take actions, because things are a moving target. So what worked even 6 months ago may not be working now. So anyway, we're going to stick to best case scenario, best case usage, and you know, I hate to say hope for the best, but you always refine. So, and in the future, we're going to have a take action. Obviously, we're going into autoresponder series after this, but one whole take action needs to be on how to get that first email opened. And there's tactics that you can use to do that. So, but last point on this is that even though we deliver on the thank you page, in the email, and in the membership area, that they get an email with the login for. And
follow-up emails.
Exactly. That did you get it? Type email. We still have people that message in on chat and said, hey, I didn't get the thing, whatever it is. And it is, I'm like, oh my gosh, and you want to say, it was on the thank you page that there's a big button there that says download. So,
it was here, and here, moron.
and you can't assume. I'm kidding. You can't assume that everyone sees what you see. So, again, that's why we deliver.
We throw in the harsh truth bombs out today. Sorry, everybody.
That's right.
So the good news. All right. So that was all really, really negative. The good news is if you followed along in the freebie trainings and you've done your freebie according to at least kind of using ours as a guideline, then your freebie is branded enough to point back to you regardless of whether or not they open up your autoresponder series. So if you can deliver it, this is my argument and justification for putting that download button right on the thank you page. If you deliver it there, they get it, they enjoy it, then they still know what to do because you did that direct response call to action where you told them, if you liked this, go by here, go do this next step, get involved with me here, join my Facebook group, whatever it was that you did with your direct response call to action.
Exactly. And those are some of the things like the rest of the elements for the thank you page that we're going to talk about. The most important thing is obviously delivering the thing so that they, have been validated. They did the action, they get the product or whatever it is. All right. So the other things that you can do on a thank you page, and again, this can be or doesn't have to be. Last week on the opt-in, we talked about the fact of just getting them to get on your email list and not mucking it up with a lot of other stuff. On the thank you page, you have some possibilities. Again, it might distract. So you need to have that button really big and visible on the top and hope that they'll want to read down. So the other things that you're going to want to do quickly are building authority. So know, like, and trust. So they may have just found you from a cold place. They don't know anything about you. They're getting your freebie. This is an opportunity to, one video would be great to thank them for their, for their download or taking the time to fill out your form or whatever, and talking a little bit about what you do. 3 to 5 minutes max, closer to 3 on this one, just because of that microwave society thing. Encourage. Can you hear that?
I can hear a little bit, but it's okay when you're talking.
All right. Encourage them to follow you on social media. So you want to get them working towards the next step. All right. So, and following you on social media, they don't have to be active in looking for you. You can show up in their newsfeed. All right. This is a deal if you are using Facebook ads. It would be to offer an upsell, or it wouldn't be an upsell, offer something for sale in this case, because it was a freebie now, and sell something very small, typically under $27 here, preferably $7 to $17. It can be done in many other ways. I've seen people be effective at selling a $297 something on a thank you page, but we're thinking micro steps for these people. So think of something small that you can tease or completely upsell. All right. And then on your thank you page, in this example, we're using MailChimp, but if you're using it on your website or whatever, you just want to be conscious of your conversions. And again, I'm not going to get into this today, except for to just show on the MailChimp that it will show the people that saw your thank you page. All right. And then took action. You can even do automations in the paid version of MailChimp and every other mail service to tag that they actually click the download button and run actions off of that. So again, future TA2. All right. And then the last thing, we're not going to do this today, is just you want to have an auto response series. Did you get it type email and then working into selling. All right. Whoops. I do. Oh, I just closed that. All right. So for anyone, I'm just going to drop this really quick. For anyone that we're talking about the old, we're talking about the previous versions. As of today, take actions are still $99. They are going up by the end of this week.
That's because we've been too busy.
We've been busy getting Take Action ready and having a holiday. So if you want to get the replays, grab them now because they're going up to a membership model. Can you see? Okay. So, I closed my form. Let me grab it back. You can still see my screen, correct?
Yes. I'm correcting that typo in this resource, and I'm going to upload it.
Perfect. I am going to try to reopen this since I accidentally closed it. because just wanted to show you that there are some steps in that, or I'll just show you, but there are some steps in the in this training that tell you how to create a thank you page in MailChimp. All right. So what you're going to want to do, and I'm not going to pull it up. I'll let Jessica just drop it again or it's dropped for you. It'll just show you how to get here like last week. So last week we did the opt-in. You're going to go to audience, and these steps again are in the resource. You're going to go to manage audience, sign up forms, and then form builder. Basically the same thing we did last week for the landing page, except for this version is going to be super, super, super simple. Okay. So instead of in this drop down of sign up form, we're going to do a confirmation thank you page. Oh, the sound is wearing me out. All right. This is what happens. So once they click, once they fill in, last week we showed how it'll pop up on the screen. This week is if you want to take them to a thank you page. This is the most simplified version of a thank you page. You do get to edit the name of it, say what they got. It confirmed, you confirmed your subscription, because when they accept a freebie, in most cases, it puts them on your newsletter list. You need to let them know that and that they can unsubscribe. So here you will want to, can you mute a second, Jessica? Let me see if that's, thank you. So you'll be able to change this. So based on what we put in the take action messaging in that PDF that we gave you, at least in this part, confirm what it is they got. You can put the button here again, and then they can continue on to your website. All right. So this is how you will do this. If, again, continue from last week, you can actually still send them to this thank you page, but send them to another thank you page on your website. All right. So last week's, let me get back to last week's. All right. And again, let me get back to you'll see 2 people subscribed. Again, this is not a live form. This is just what we set up last week, but you do get some nice little stats, even with the free version of MailChimp. We're not a proponent of MailChimp. Again, we say that all the time. It's just one of the most recognizable, well used. You can find lots of documentation online about it. So we used it for our example because so many people used it. All right. So you'll be able to see, you can, run emails from there. All right. So last week's sign up form, we did a landing page. All right. So this week, to go back and use a page from your website, you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to go to embed forms. Same exact thing we went through last week. Okay. And I'm not going to fill it out because we did it last week. You can go back and watch the replay. All right. We do try to keep these, to the 45-minute if we can. All right. So get this like you like it. No, it's not the most beautiful thing. You do have the options to do it unstyled. It'll pick up the styling from your website. You can choose classic, condensed, horizontal, unstyled, and then advanced would allow you to put in your own CSS. So I'm just going to do classic. Again, you're going to change your fields. All you're going to do is pick up this code, which people scares them to death to pick up code. But all you do is Control A, select all, whatever it is, right click, select all, and copy. And then in your website builder, and I need to stop sharing just a second. Jessica, if you have anything wonderful to say while I'm going to stop, I've got to pull up. I'm going to put this in Kajabi, and I'm going to pull up a Weebly website, just to show you the difference in those two, and possibly even the Shopify really quick, just to show you the different places. So you'll have to know your system for doing this.
Julie, where are your headphones?
Remember, they won't go through. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is very frustrating. We may be looking for a new webinar service, because it is actually very quiet. For anyone who doesn't know, I have moved my office down into the sword shed so that it could be nice and quiet. So I don't know why we get this feedback like that. So I apologize for that. But yeah, it cracks me up every time Julie talks about code, because when I started my first business, I knew of code because my husband at the time was going through like software engineering in college, and it just always seemed so far over my head. But I give you that background to say, don't be like me. Code is just, a simple little language, and it creates some beautiful fluidity between different programs so that they can talk to each other. And that's something that Julie's really taught me to embrace, is the technical side of things. So if this is your first time ever considering code or grabbing code and putting it here, just, I guess, rather than being intimidated by it, just be grateful that you have someone as practical as Julie to walk you through how to do it. There, how was that?
Great. And then in this, actually, you will see that they will give you step by step, but people are super scared of, the messing something up or whatever. This way, you're not necessarily going to mess anything up. So, you can always undo. All you're going to do is place it into your website. So you can take it right back out. All right. And I'm trying to get this to pull up. So I had it pulled up, but then it restarted itself right before I started.
Jen said Shopify, please.
I'm trying to get
Hey, lunchtime is in 30 minutes, people. I'm just kidding.
I may come back and do a support video that goes into the Take Action training. If you grab the replays, that will show some of the top ones. I have a demo account that I would love to show you, but I can't get it to pull up either. So when my computer restarted, it really messed up my mojo here. So let's see. Hold on half a second. And I'm stop sharing, correct? So you can see it. I'm going to share again. All right. I'm going to share again really quick.
Oh, I also wanted to say we have a ton of people on today. So if today's TAT for you feels a little over your head and you're already thinking like, whew, I cannot go back to one of those. They make me feel like I'm super far behind. This is probably the most technical one that we have ever done and that we will ever do. So after this, we're going to be talking about emails, which is in how to put them into an autoresponder, which is still extremely technical. But then after that, I think we're going to do some lighthearted, like carousel posts for Instagram, and maybe 9 blocks for Instagram, and stories, and maybe some, some easier one-offs like that are going to really make you feel a lot more prepared for like where you are, even if you're just on chapter 1 or 2 of your business.
Exactly. So, all right. Let me see if I can get. All right. Can you see this Weebly page really quick? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. So it doesn't matter what your website builder is. 99.9% of them have this functionality. If they don't, you don't need to be on it. So, and we're talking about anything from WordPress to GoDaddy to Wix to
Squarespace,
all of those, and Shopify. All of those are the top tiered, but there are so many others. Okay. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to click this embed code. All right. It might say HTML on yours or whatever. So you will have an embed code on a page. And all I'm going to do is paste. Remember, I had that on there. And again, remember, this one's kind of ugly, okay? Because I didn't take the birthday out. I didn't style it from last week. I probably should have went and got last week's. That would have been a better thing to do. But again, we're running short on time. So here's the form embedded, all right? And if I preview this, I mean, it was just, all I did was paste. All right, oops, let's go. Oh, dang. I made a new page. Of course, it's probably not going to be in the menu. Oh, maybe it is. New page, here we go. So I just created a quick thing for this. All right, so subscribe, email address, first name, last name. You won't necessarily ask for birthday. Again, I just didn't restyle that. But how easy is it to embed that right on your website? Okay, and again, I will go back and in the replays, I will do Shopify. I will do, let's see if I can do Squarespace. Do I have somebody that has a Squarespace that I can commandeer to get? But I'll do several of the big ones just to show you the differences in that. But all of them are going to be basically the same. You're just going to want to click edit the custom code. Okay, so you can build your beautiful page. So again, pretend like this is a thank you. And that's the, the elements of the thank you page, and then it's going to come up. All right. All right. Do we have questions, on your email, opt-in, leftover from last week about embed or the thank you page? And you can embed, a thank you, but I don't like it. I would just, if you have your own website, just go ahead and build it out on your website and then redirect to it. You get the choice of the Facebook pixel. It'll pick it up. It can pick up the conversion. All right.
Jen has a question. She wants to know if she should make a page on her website or if she just makes a freebie tab on her site. You can do a pop-up too. Yeah. God, that's like a
pop-up. Actually,
it's a whole new thing.
Yep. Let me see. I know that that you can still see my screen, right?
Yep.
All right. So subscriber pop-up. All right. So I'm in MailChimp again, free version. Okay. So subscriber pop-up, select. So you create, and again, this doesn't have to be sign up for a newsletter. It can be sign up for, get your free whatever. So pretend like this is styled, okay? But for the sake of, I'm just going to show you again. You saw it last week. All of MailChimp's and most of the other builders work pretty much the same. So if you know one, you're going to kind of know the others, or you'll be able to figure it out. All right, so you've got several different layout styles to choose from, whether it has an image or not. If it's a freebie, definitely include the image. You're going to get a better conversion. Let's see. All right, so let's pretend like this is done. So it's not going to let me embed it. Dang. So this is one, their pop-up is going to be, you have to connect your website with the domain. And maybe I'll do I don't want to do a whole TAT on this. So maybe I will just do a support video that goes in this training. So today's training will have sub videos that will come in behind it. All right. So all you're going to do is connect your website URL and then accept. And it would allow you, once you configure this, it does it on the background instead of having to embed it, that it knows to pop up. There are thousands of other programs that do this. You don't have to do it in MailChimp. You can do it in anything. Grab your embed code. King Sumo, Opt-in Monster, Elf Site, Power. There's so many different programs that will do a pop-up, and then you can just keep rotating them out. So, and if you have more than one freebie, again, if you're just starting, don't get ahead of yourself. Just do one great freebie, okay? and then you'll be able to at least get traction going with that. So, and again, there's a couple of settings always on pop-ups. So I wanted to cover this really quick. Whether you display it immediately, and most systems give you different options here, but it's going to be some version of this. So I like how this one, I haven't ever seen this before, scroll to the middle of the page or scroll to the end. On exit is always there. So you know how you go to a website and you navigate up towards like you're going to go away and then the pop-up comes up. That I like that one. And I like after a few seconds. So if you're really, really trying to give them a second to, give them a few seconds, 5 seconds to see what your site's about and then hit them with the freebie. So I recommend either 5 seconds or on exit. All right. So I would say after 5 seconds. And then in the free version of MailChimp, I never like to show and advertise another company if I can help it. But in the free version, you have to. All free versions, basically, you have to. So if that bugs you, you're going to have to pay to upgrade. And it was on the opt-in form and the thank you form as well. There's a big badge. All right. And then
can I just hop in there and say either that or you can create a pop-up. Like I know in Kajabi, you can do a pop-up on any page. Correct. And I would imagine you could do a pop-up on Spotify, on Shopify, or I made pop-ups when I was using Squarespace for my first business. So if you go the pop-up route, it's really just about connecting the two so that pop-up is collecting the information and sending it to your email service. But you can create that pop-up in your web program.
And the reason we chose MailChimp to show this is because it is integrated with the most, everyone integrates to MailChimp basically because they've been around quite a while. And again, we talked about last week, they're moving to kind of an all-in-one thing. So, and it does offer a website builder inside MailChimp as well. So it would have the pop-up. But on Shopify specifically, you have to get an extra add-on. But or the theme might have it built in. So again, it's hard to show exactly how to put it in your own website, depending on what your website is. All right. And then the last little function of if you used this and let it show it on your website, then you can have it. So modal is when it pops up in the middle of the screen. Slide in. Let me see if it'll let me show. Oh, it's not going to let me show it. It just slides in from the side. It's just exactly what it says. So it just like waves over. So if you don't want it right in the middle. So I like it either way. And you can play with, on this one, I think it's nice. You can play with the opacity. It's not going to show you because I didn't build it out. Actually, let me see if I hit replay if it will. Preview. Yeah, so there's the slide in. And again, I didn't put the picture in, but imagine that your nice little promo picture that we did a couple of weeks ago showed up here. And again, this would say download our freebie, just like what we did last week. And then grab it now instead of subscribe. And away you go. And this branding is minimal. I'm good with. So I don't want anybody to get hung up on what I just said about the branding here. Again, the point is to take action and get people signing up. MailChimp is a highly promoted program. So no one's going to be like, oh, she uses MailChimp or whatever.
Right. And that's what I popped in to say was done is better than perfect.
100%. So, and then here would be the mobile version again, and it's going to squish out. You're still going to see the little graphic really small, but it'll be there and it'll be nice. So, and I can show you the pop-up as a modal really quick. And it would have been really nice if I would have built this out, but again, for time, so pop-up. And it didn't, pretend like your whole page is back there is what it's going to look like. And then again, built out. It's a nice, easy way to put a pop-up and take action. All right. So questions. Again, this is the most, it's a part 2. So it's, if you haven't done part 1 or even the other parts of the series, you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I've got to catch up. But this was the hardest step of all of them. And you didn't even have to do this step. You could have, if you didn't have a website, you could stop at last week and have a great, well-performing freebie going. All right, so questions, and I'm not looking at the chat again. Let me see if I can scooch it over and see if I can see. Where is mine? And Shopify, again, I will do a video on Shopify because there's a couple different ways to do it. If you have a custom theme, and there's going to be a third-party app that you can add as well. All right. Questions. Let me see if I had anything else. I still can't see the chat. Hold on. So Jessica, you'll have to click. Oh, here we go. I have too many windows open. All right, so Jessica popped in the link again. Julie, you're so good on time. I'm going to get Jess a bell so she can ring it to reel us back in. Yeah, so it is good. If these go super long, we lose y'all. No one wants to watch a super long video and not be able to take action. So, all right.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. So Deanne says, iterate your way to awesome. Do it and get a C- instead of waiting. Yes. Perfect.
Yep.
Because imagine, and everybody's price point's different of what they're selling. We talk about funnels all the time and bringing people in. So this is the very first step of your funnel. So what if they come in on a freebie that was a C- as far as execution goes or whatever, but they come in and then they immediately jump to high ticket or whatever. Even if they don't, it's a win that they are in your cycle of emails, getting to know you, social media, so that they'll want to reach out and learn more about you and your services. So, and again, on the thank you page, I love having I should show, while we're taking questions, I will see if I can pull up a couple of our thank you pages to show.
Yeah, so Jen, while she's pulling that up, I'll just talk a little to what Jen, I think I understand your question. She said, so I could direct people to my website to sign up for the freebie. From social, just say head to www.mywebsite to get the freebie, or link the download freebie to my website with the thank you page. Yes, I would say if you have a website, that is even a more preferable, better practice than if you have to direct them to a vanity Canva link, like we talked about with the link in bio, and we did the bit.ly to shorten it and all of that. Or if you're having to direct them to the MailChimp opt-in page link, obviously something that says sweetandsimple.com is much more brand building. And if you're afforded that, then that is awesome. That's what you want. But if you don't have that, don't despair. Like they've been saying, C- is better than not turning in a paper at all. I don't know how we manage, I guess because these are trainings, how we manage to get back to school analogies, but.
Exactly. All right. So can you see my computer's wigging out because I have this opened up on 3 different windows, and this is a pretty resource hogging thank you page. But I wanted to show you, typically this would have a button, but it doesn't because it is a full class that they have to log into. So, but your button would be up top. Let me just get off this page. This one's not liking my computer. I don't know if
it's the confetti. That's
jumping around.
That's a big video. And we're kind of counting on people not having 50 tabs open when they visit that page.
Or 97.
Yeah.
Let me see. I have a, let's see. Still not happy. Whew. What's our last key thank you?
Oh my goodness. We should have pulled all these links. Who knows?
I did. But my computer, that tab restarted. So here, we'll do this.
Just go sign up for something, guys, and you'll see our thank you pages.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to do. All right. So here's an opt-in, just easy. What you get, picture representation. Julie, again, that's what we covered last week. All right. And then put in my email, download now. All right. Thank you. Bam. Here's where the button we're talking about. All right. And that section is really large enough, hopefully, to draw their eye to it. And then we tell them to scroll down while you're waiting to get the email as well. Scroll down, and then they see a whole sales page.
They get to see my pretty face right there.
Exactly. All right. And so here is the freebie that they get. They click it. It opens in a new window, which still allows them to go back to the page. So we talk about microwave society. Don't get distracted. They get it immediately. And here's the page, and it's actually going to take a second to load because I've got a bazillion. If you can see the bottom tray of my computer, I actually have design programs open too. Anyway, so that is what we're talking about. Exactly.
Oh, it's coming.
While it's coming, we'll switch back.
Hey, Riley has it. So Riley, as an author, my freebie is the first 2 chapters of my book. Just that freebie grew my newsletter list like crazy and then redirects to my website. I plan on doing the same thing with each new pen name. Yep, that sounds great. That sounds like a wonderful strategy. And when you're an author, that makes perfect sense to be offering the first little bit of your book, or the most compelling part if you're not wanting to just offer the first part.
Right. If you are that same type pretense, if you have a coaching series or a training or something like that, you can set up a thank you page with the first 3 minutes of the training and then, or 5 minutes or whatever, and then have a button to take them, like what you hear, get the rest of it, whatever. And again, we're talking about that on your thank you page after they've gotten the first step. All right. So a little bit more advanced than last week of just delivering them the thing and working through email. So I just really want to say that there's so many different ways that you can do this, is why we're kind of throwing out other options for that. So if you have a course, if you have a 10-part course, give them the first part of the course, part 1, module 1. If you have an ebook, let's say it's a paid ebook, $27, or a workbook or whatever, give them the first little bit of that. You can do that as a freebie. All right.
Savita says, Julie, that tip was worth the price of admission.
Thank you. Oh, it loaded. I don't know what was going on.
There we go. Hey, look at that 2020 right there. I wonder who made this dang calendar.
It wasn't me, people. Thank you, Jessica, though, for at least we have one.
Yep. Man. See, it happens.
Today. Yep. And, we didn't do that on purpose, but we could have, just to show you. But, taking action is really the same thing. Do you know how many people have signed up for this in the last, we changed it over to June, I don't know, a week ago or so, and we probably had 300 people. No one's mentioned it. Okay. So take action. It's okay. Imperfect action is always better than no action.
No one's mentioned it, but we have had a bunch of people sign up.
Right. That's what I mean. No one's mentioned it. So they, that's such a little thing too. So don't get up on the little things. We will change it, but Yeah.
It's on my list.
Yeah. Don't stress. So, so we would love for y'all to come, and we'll put a post out here shortly for your thank you page. Again, this was the highlights of what could be on a thank you page and how to execute it. We may come back and it's so hard to do a true training for your website because we use Kajabi. It's so different than, other things. So,
but we could do like a 10-person max seminar where we get to help everyone and do some co-working and things like that. I know Julie has really wanted to have something that's slightly higher ticket than TAT, where we're just kind of like giving one-on-one for people who may not be ready to pay for, a specific one-on-one service.
Right. But it would be a small group coaching, if you will, that would actually make sure that you're on task for these items, because when executed correctly, or even at a C- level, you're getting people in, into your funnel. So, and that is the main name of the game. So, and I wanted to say thank you so much to Deanne. She invited, I think it's Jeannie today. So I wanted to say hello and thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
Ooh, Wind Down Wednesday. That's got to be.
I love it.
I scrolled by so fast I missed it.
Hashtag C- level. Oh my goodness. Savita.
Yep. So co-working, some people don't. I think co-working in a group where everybody's on the same step, or working, maybe not even on the same step, but where you're getting feedback from each other, that's such a great thing, because we all together work better and can. When you're working on your own things, it is so true of us, like our sales pages, our opt-ins, our thank yous, whatever. It's so hard to step away and see it from the visitor's point of view. So that's what, you want to make sure that you're conveying exactly what it is they're getting, the value they're getting, the benefits they're getting. So,
yeah, and when you're in service, you always feel like you should be providing that service to other people. So I kind of struggle with feeling like, oh, well, I don't need to spend the time on this. I need to spend the time on them. So,
but
I'm sure you guys can relate.
Yeah, the whole point of these take actions is to be able to, execute C- and above, and at least get that ball rolling. You can always circle back and refine, and we do that a lot because we throw something up. I mean, we use the take action model seriously in our business for sure.
And that's hard for me because when I went through college, I literally cried in a dean's office because I got an A-.
Yeah.
So I'm the opposite of what Julie describes. But
preaching, yes, because I want to be the A+ all the time. Perfectionism, but there is no place for perfectionism in entrepreneurship. Back it up. There is no place for it, because you just will analysis paralysis, whatever. Just make it work. So, yep. When I have a question at midnight, I don't think Jess or Julie would appreciate Marco Polo.
Correct.
Oh, I'm up usually at midnight. So,
yes, but please don't Marco Polo her. She has so much other stuff to do.
I have not watched a Marco Polo. I'm so bad. And I haven't even, this is going to sound terrible, but I haven't been in a personal manner on Facebook this weekend, hardly at all. So, you gotta, I don't know. I've been in work mode, and then I've been in holiday family mode. So,
right.
But yeah, when I have to,
perfect.
The Marco Polo, you, Savita.
Awesome.
All right. So if you have any questions, come to the group to ask them. This will be in the replays, and I will have a follow-up video that shows a little bit more on Shopify, and hopefully we've got a couple of clients here that I'm going to reach out to and see if I can use their examples. Jate is one. I want to connect her Clavio on screen. So I think that's how you say it. So if she doesn't mind, I don't know if she's still here, then I will do a recording on that to show how that one's done. And then we've got Tony that has Shopify with not a pop-up, but it's on screen. So I'm going to see if I can do both of those. Ooh, Jate's still here. She's going to say, no, girl, don't do it. She's going to say yes. Say yes, Jate. So those will be, and then I'll pick a couple others. So yay. Thank you, Jate. So that will be a good one for people to see, because what you sell is perfect for everyone too. So there'll be a little shameless plug in there for you. So, all right.
Exactly.
So we have done well on time, although it was a little bit scattered at moments today for take action. But again, C- is better than, not showing up. So,
which would have been very easy to do today.
Yeah, it would have been easy to say, we're not exactly ready. But it was a good one. You will get some follow-up video and be able to take action on what you learned.
I bet Julie could literally build a website with her eyes closed at this point. If it was the right platform, she could probably do it pretty well.
In our platform, I can build a website in less than 4 hours. A big website.
Functional.
Yes.
E-commerce.
Everything. Yep.
Thank you, Jen. I'm going to screenshot that. If you don't mind, I'm going to screenshot that. You might see it appear somewhere.
Yep.
TAT.
Go back. Anybody that's new here, that's what I hate kind of a little bit about these when we get far into a series, like this is part 5 of something. If it's your first time here, you are thinking, oh my goodness. So that's a struggle we deal with. So I apologize. You'll want to either, if you can't get the replays, we understand. So skip ahead, come back next week, because we're going to change gears before we get into autoresponders, just because this has been so heavy. So I think we should go back and change and do some design work to kind of help you with your social.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to point this out. Also, we still have several people on here. If, like Julie said, if you're feeling like this is really overwhelming, these are the 20 that we already have done. That's pretty big, but hopefully you can sort through it. We have done 20. Today makes 21 take action trainings. So towards the end of June, we will hit the halfway mark for everything that we're going to deliver in terms of take action this year. So if you're feeling like this is 100, 1,000 steps ahead, just look at everything that everyone who's been so natural in talking today have been with us for a really long time. And they're confident because they've gone through social selling. They've gone through leveraging the power of your why, getting more engagement on social media, social selling the right way, creating captions that get the engagement you want. And then the whole Facebook series, I think we did 5 or 6 trainings just on Facebook. And then we did Instagram with the link in bio and hashtags and then advanced hashtags. So if you're feeling like, you're never going to get there, just remember this is week 21 of this training series, and we're just about halfway in that. So,
yeah, and we had built in, when we were doing these, we said we were going to do 50 for the year. So we built in 2 weeks that we could be off, just in case. So today could have been that day, but we showed up. I think it's good. So anyway, come to the group if you have questions. Jen has a question. You're going to go into design. I was hoping for automatic emails because of executing my freebie this week. Oh, let's see. We could be persuaded. Did you hear that? You didn't hear that.
No, I didn't. Sorry.
So Jen says, all right, I'm going to read it. You're going into design. I was hoping for, it flicked. I hate it when it does that.
I see it. I'm reading it.
Yeah. Hoping for email automation. We were just worried that it might be a little heavy for people. It probably is more natural just to swing right into it because you kind of do need that part. So,
yeah, I really think that I was going to talk to Julie about this because I really think we should do autoresponders just because even if it's just the first 1 or 2, it's so important for closing that gap. And then once we close that gap, we're going to go back to something lighter. But I do want everyone on the call to know, and anyone who's watching this on replay, that they are not all this technical. So,
Oh, yeah. See, Riley asked how much. They're $99 right now for all 50, which is crazy. So we're going to something that's going to be a little different at the end of this week. So if you can, grab them now. Jute says she got the 21-day challenge. That was
oh,
one
good.
of our freebies. Oh, no, that was paid off of a freebie. Let's see. Kathy says, I jumped in at the link in bio. Want to have fun so I can go back and do all of them. So wonderful. This training is priceless. Oh, that makes us feel really good.
Yes.
Like today, like I struggle with these days when it's like not the more glamorous type. Glamorous isn't a great word, but you know, when it's more technical, you know, whatever. But this is an important part. I mean, the thank you page is a big deal. So especially there are really, really good reasons. A thank you page, if you can upsell, I need to find some stats and put in the replays, but selling on a thank you page can completely pay for your Facebook ads. We're not doing Facebook ads yet. It probably will never be. I don't know. Everybody keeps trying to talk us into doing a take action on Facebook ads, but it would be like today. It would be like a hard.
Oh, it would be a 4-part too. So
it might be an 8-part. I don't know. But
yeah.
All right. So I guess, yes, Jen, we will roll on into, and they're not scary. So I just wanted to, you know, give people
I would say autoresponders are way less scary than the last 2 weeks have been. But why don't we go ahead and stop the recording?
Okay.
Just for anybody who's watching, and then we can chit chat afterward.
All right. Thank y'all for joining us for this Take Action training. If you made it till the end with all the chit chat. See you next week.
See ya.